Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gaurav. I'm here in Manchester. Behind me is the Old Trafford Stadium. And today we're going to be talking about a grim development and a major development in the world of cricket. And it obviously has to do with the World Championship League, where the India versus Pakistan game that was supposed to be held today at the Edgbaston, Birmingham, now stands cancelled. Now, when we talk about the entire context of the game, it's not just about a match. It's not just about an India versus. This is about conscious. This is about country. This is about career. At this point, the match was supposed to be happening today at around 4 p.m. in the evening. But now that you think about it, did the organizers take too long to cancel it? Did the players take too long to take a stand? Especially considering what the geopolitical tensions were just a few months ago. This isn't about, let's say, sport. Like I said, this isn't just about the India versus Pakistan game happening. It's about timing. It's about sensitivity. It's about remembering how many lives were lost and if it is insensitive to them or not. When that entire geopolitical thing happened, when there almost a warlike situation that broke out between the two countries, is it not, when the IPL, PSL, all of these, everything being suspended at the time, or let's say putting a pause on the IPL, this match I think should have never have happened. This match have never happened because of the public perception that it now gives out. Now, let's go back to when these geopolitical tensions started. Let's go back to April 2025, Pahalgam attacks, 26 people killed. Now, during that entire discourse, we saw that the IPL was cancelled. We saw that nationwide, although there was really nothing to worry about considering how well the political parties, or let's say the army or anyone, the armed forces handled it with care. But at the same time, it was a scary situation for everyone involved, and it, especially in India, it sparked a national outrage. We all said that after this there should be no diplomatic ties with Pakistan, there should be no sporting ties with Pakistan. There is a reason have been no bilateral, or let's say no bilateral cricket between India and Pakistan for the last 10 years. There is a reason why an Operation Sindoor happened. There is a reason why the domestic sentiment between the two countries, between India and Pakistan, has been boiling over the years. So it's not as if this is an issue which has just cropped up. It, there's been a lot of time, and the fact that the match was cancelled today on the day that the match was supposed to happen, does that say something about sensitivity? Does that say something about public sensitivity, especially because the match, in my opinion, should not have happened? Or let's say it should not have gotten to a point where you actually put out a statement on the day of the match, or let's say a few 12 hours before the match was actually supposed to happen. It should have happened way earlier. Maybe the match should have even been organized. Now, maybe it should have never even been, there is a of chill at the moment between the two countries. WCL planned an India versus Pakistan game if nothing had ever happened between the two countries. And now WCL put out a statement that we wanted to do this match, or we decided to organize this match because there was a friendly match, a volleyball match between India and Pakistan. There was a news also broke that news that the Pakistan players, when it comes to the Junior World Cup, when it comes to the Asia World Cup, the two tournaments being held in India, that the Pakistani players or the Pakistani team would be given or granted visa access or access to the country so that they could come and participate in the game. Because of these decisions being held in the diplomatic sense, that they thought it was okay to give fans a thrill of an India-Pakistan game. This was what the statement said. But let's be clear, let's be very, very honest about the fact that an India-Pakistan game in cricket is going to be 10 times different, 100 times different than an India versus Pakistan game in volleyball or in a hockey. The sentiments that are involved in cricket, the emotions that are involved in cricket, and obviously we all know, you and I both know, that cricket is a soft power for the country. Cricket, if you want to make a statement, it is through cricket. When the Pahalgam terror attacks happened, did you or did you not make a statement through IPL? You suspended it for a week, and then after that, every single game that happened, you had huge posters that said "Thank you, armed forces." You over and over again, whenever drinks break happened, whenever any sort of break happened in the match, there were, posters or LED screens that popped up and said, "Thank you, armed forces," and we should stand in unity. So IPL was also a soft power at that point, and cricket has always been a statement. That is the reason why cricket will never be sent to a Pakistan. A cricket team will never be sent to Pakistan. That is why the whole Asia Cup hybrid model thing happened, because it is power. Cricketers are one of your biggest celebrities in the country. Uh, Cricket is the biggest soft power of the country when it comes to sport. There is a reason why India is not being sent to Pakistan, while on the other hand, you saw a tennis team traveling for the Davis Cup. You saw other teams, exchanging uh, either the Pakistani players would come to India or Indian players would go to Pakistan, but not cricket. Cricket is the biggest sport that your country has, so it can't happen like that. Uh, and cricket, when it comes to India and Pakistan, is symbolic. The world watches. It is never just a match. So the fact that WCL even went on to organize this match was that tone deaf. Was that tone deaf from the World Championship League? Um, but there are also a lot of critical arguments coming in at this point. And would any global league schedule a US versus Iran match right after a major conflict? Is that something happen? Why is it then that India or the WCL moved on so quickly from what happened? This is a question that needs to be asked. The fact that, was it tone deaf? And also, you have cricketers, two cricketers, Harbajan and Yusuf Pathan. Harbajan Singh was the first person to pull out of the game. Then it was Yusuf Pathan. Shikhar Dhawan has also now put out a statement and said that he is out of the match as well. But two of the players that were going to participate in this match were politicians. uh, it started very quickly yesterday. All of a sudden, one after the other, you kept hearing about this withdrawal. It was Harbhajan Singh who was the first to back out. Then it was Yusuf Pathan, and the reasoning was pretty clear. It was political suicide. Political suicide for them. If they had not done that, their political careers would be over. Now look back on the fact that when the Pahalgam terror attacks happened, there was no BJP, there was no Congress, there was no Aam Aadmi Party. It was India. It was India fighting against terrorism. And it was very, very clear on the way that the country handled that entire thing. Now, in situations like these, it is very easy for the opposition to come out and give the party in leadership a lot of flack or criticism, but that was not the time to do so. And quite okay, and everyone came together. All the political parties came together and supported the leading party, or let's say supported the government in fighting back terrorism. And that is exactly why it's unlikely that Harbhajan Singh and Yusuf Pathan ever participated in this match or ever thought of participating in this match. And if they did, trust you me, it would have been political suicide. Harbhajan Singh is a Rajya Sabha member from from the Aam Aadmi Party. Yusuf Pathan is a Lok Sabha MP from Trinamool Congress. Now, backlash. So neither of them have made public statements. Let's be clear on that as well. Neither of them have made any statements. But what's with the silence? we need, WCL has now went out and put a statement, but what's with the silence? Harbhajan and Yusuf, good on them for withdrawing from the match, but also they need to say something at this point. Now, it's also quite interesting why they took so long to withdraw when there was so much backlash on the internet. Was it because if there was no backlash, would Yusuf Pathan and Harbhajan Singh have withdrawn? Would the rest of the players have withdrawn? Would the WCL have gone through with the match? These are the questions that need to be asked right now, because there were calls for boycott, there were hashtags around, there were a lot of tweets. I'm just going to move for a second here, because I was in the way. And yeah, so why did it take for the politicians to back out of this tournament so long? It's The silence is honestly deafening. Um, then there's the backlash, the social media outrage, and again the question comes up: would this match have ended if there was no social media outrage? Would this match have gone on? Would Harbhajan Singh or the rest of the players also have gone on? Because it was social media outrage, fans, veterans, even fringed politicians and former players and legends of the came out and expressed disbelief over how this can even happen, especially after. So it's not after, it's about how close this was to the Pahalgam attacks. It is still such a sensitive topic. We are still a country that is mourning the losses that we faced during the Pahalgam attacks. And, it's a nationalistic sentiment. And if it could have become a huge deal from what we had heard, that if the match had happened in Edgbaston, there could have also been of protests outside the stadium. So there was a lot of political sentiment, political heat involved as well. Now, MPs, think of this: your country's member of parliament playing a game against Pakistan. You are risking being called anti-national, you are risking called tone deaf. By this point, the match was not just controversial, it was becoming a liability. So that's how it is. And then came Shikhar Dhawan's exit. It was, I think, late at night here when it comes to the local time. Shikhar came out and posted on his social media. He posted on X, and with he posted a dated screenshot proving that he had already communicated his decision in May. So why was this ever not made public? That is one question. The other is, why he waited so long for it to be public. But from what we know, and from what Shikhar Dhawan has posted on his social media, that he had withdrawn from the tournament back in May only. So that became the first official statement. But this was only after this was only after the had broke. This was only after social media backlash. This was only after saying that how could you go on with an game. So uh, clearly, it seems no one wanted to be the first one to break the news. If all these decisions were made a month ago, why were there no public announcements until the pressure mounted? Why did you have until it got to this point? Again, the point that I'm bringing up, I brought this up at the start of the show, that why did you wait for the match to cancel out? Why did you wait only a few hours before the match actually had to start, or was scheduled to start, that you actually announced that the match has been cancelled? And the reasoning here is also very tone deaf. When you look at the statement that WCL put out, it said that it's because hockey had the hockey players were going to come. It said that uh, the hockey players had been given clearance to come to India to play the Junior Hockey World Cup and the Asia Cup. It said that the volleyball team had played, but again, It's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over again. That cricket is a different sentiment. With cricket, there are so many emotional sentiments involved. There are so many political sentiments and also nationalistic sentiments involved here. So, and also, I think, do you guys think, and you can let me know in the comments, and I can take them later on, but do you not think that the organizers' apology was so a little too late? They claim that because hockey and volleyball had played that match, that they misread the entire cricketing emotion entirely. Their apology, I think at this point has caused more discomfort than comfort, and either brands pulled out or got nervous, but commercial interests really started weighing in, and a more proactive move would have honestly saved face for WCL. This was a very reactionary. This was very reactionary and not responsible from the WCL. Now, again, political careers are on the line. Harbhajan Singh, Yusuf, active politicians, their initial silence, followed by quiet withdrawal, it sends a message of fear of public perception. That does. They did not take this decision proactively. Shikhar Dhawan tried to prove that he did. But had a Harbhajan Singh played, had a Yusuf Patan played, it could have become a massive issue in the parliament, in the newsrooms, during the elections. Public memory is long when it comes to betrayal, especially during national grief. Absolutely. And the quiet consensus, players knew, but no one ever spoke out. Some players made personal decisions, some but did not go public with it. Everyone waited to see, how much noise the public would, or what the outrage would be, or what the reaction to the match would be. That delay has hurt WCL as a brand. That delay has hurt the players that were involved and made it look like they bowed to pressure and not to principle. So the argument here is simple. A proactive stand could have turned them into heroes. Silence made them look very reactive and very opportunistic at this point, and that is the last thing you want to happen. And finally, this match should have never happened. And as I've said that before, this match should have never happened. This match was wrong from the very start. It was wrong timing, wrong, insensitive, wrong context, and it risked national sentiment. And it's India before any other sport. It's India before anything else. No political party comes before India. No person, no sport, no team, no player ever comes before the country. And that's how it is. Sport can be divorced from politics. We know that. We know that very well. We know that when an Asia Cup comes into a picture, it comes, and now even when an ICC tournament happens, something, I think there might be something that happens there as well. But and politics cannot be divided. It's as simple as that. And that is also the reason why there have been no bilateral cricket between the two countries. And cricket matches carry so much symbolism, and it outpaces every sport in the country. The world watches cricket, the world watches the IPL, and for India, the emotional stakes are too high at the moment. So, closing thought, while the episode has now exposed how disconnected decision making can be, especially from a national standpoint, especially from a national standpoint, and how silence isn't always, when you really think of it, if you think of the commercial aspect as well, brands were hesitant. Nobody wants to be sponsoring an India versus Pakistan game especially during high tension periods. This was not a national outrage. It was also, let's say, a PR disaster waiting to happen. And you could not have two active politicians from your country portraying that they want to be playing or want to be involved in sporting ties with a Pakistan. It's not happening, not after the Pahalgam attacks. Now, if you think of the future, and that's what a lot of comments here are saying, if you think of the future of India versus Pakistan, when it comes to cricket, if this is the reaction to a veterans match, what happens if ICC stages, or let's say there's a semi-final between an India and Pakistan between the two? Should there be a hard policy that during that playing during periods of national trauma should not be something that the two countries should do, or something like that? That's for the government to decide at this point. And we said that or as well, when it comes to the Asia Cup, it is the government that will make the decisions. It is the Ministry of External Affairs, and BCCI will follow all directions of the Ministry of External Affairs. So will the Hockey Federation, the Hockey India. So will any other sporting federation in the country. And if it means cutting all sporting ties with Pakistan, then so be it. All right, that was the end of my show. We'll be back on this matter as soon as we have more updates. We will continue debating on this topic. We will continue bringing you more updates. But at this point, the question remains, was the timing wrong? Was it completely in conflict with national sentiment? We'll continue talking. Thank you so much and keep joining us.